So when it comes to pocket lights, I think there's broadly two different camps of people in this world. One that wonder what the heck would you do with such a tiny little light? And the other is a group of people that wondered what they did before they had their pocket light. And I have just made the transition from group A to group B, and that was thanks to a little light by Pixel called the Liber Pocket Light. And they just sent it out to me. I had never really tried a pocket light before, and they said, hey, we've got some new ones. Do you want to try them out? And I thought, oh, what the heck? This is a chance for me to try out a light without paying for it. And I really didn't think much of it, and I wasn't sure how much I would really use it, which is why I'd never bought one before. But since I received this light, I am using it every single day. And if you have clicked on any of my thumbnails in the past couple months, you have clicked on a thumbnail that was created with the little Liber Pocket Light. If you've watched any of my YouTube videos in the past couple of months, you've watched a video that was created with the little Liber Pocket Light. All of my Amazon and eBay listings that I'm doing now are all created using the Liber Pocket Light. Even in this video right now, the little sort of warm color light in the background here, just in the corner, that is a Liber Pocket Light. So I am just using it all the time, and I am truly wondering what the heck I did before I got these pocket lights. And to truly understand the value of the pocket lights and why they're so good, regardless of which brand that you're buying, the concept of the pocket light is so powerful. And that's because the image that your camera is capturing is a matter of painting with light. And it doesn't matter if it's photography or video, both are the same. It is a matter of painting with light. And my main light in the shot here is sort of a big softbox, just sort of lights everything up and gives a nice soft flattering light on my face. But we still need smaller lights and smaller paintbrushes to sort of create different looks. And over here in the corner, I've got a little RGB bulb in the light, the lamp there. That's giving me sort of this blue purpley tone here. I've got the Liber Pocket Light on the floor here. That's just giving me sort of that warm glow there. So there is a place for small lights. And when we think of this analogy of painting with light, the Liber Pocket Light is your tiny little detailed paintbrush. And the way I use it in my thumbnails is in the past, I've always used a big soft light just sort of pouring down over whatever product or whatever thing I was trying to take a picture of, whether I was in the shot or not. And it was a flattering light, but it's quite a dull light. Nothing really pops out at you. It all kind of looks a bit same. And what I found after getting the little pocket lights is I can take them, and there's a couple different ways you can use them. One is you tune them to the same color as your sort of main light in the way you've lit the whole scene. And then you position the little light just close to the object or whatever you want to sort of pop off of the thumbnail or sort of pop and just jump out at the viewer. And because it's a small light, it allows you to illuminate a small controlled area in the scene. So you can imagine you've got a big soft light in the whole scene, and then with the object itself, you're just shining the tiny little pocket light on it just to sort of brighten it up. And particularly with sort of cameras or lenses where they've got sort of the little Canon or Fuji logo on them, often with just a big soft light, that looked very dull. It just didn't look like anything. And all you got to do is pop the little pocket light in front of it. Just put it on sort of a low setting. Like right now it's on 2%. You might put it on 10 or 15%. You play with the position of it. And that will just get those letters on the camera to sort of pop out, or those objects to just pop out in those thumbnails or product photos. And because of this, all my eBay listings, all my thumbnails, all my sort of Facebook marketplace listings, all are photographed now using the sort of little pocket light. One thing I don't think I was super clear about was the fact that in the background of my thumbnails and the close-up product shots in my videos, you'll notice recently there is a blue wall or a blue backdrop. That is actually a gray wall with the Pixel Libre projecting a full blue light on that wall. The other way that the light can be used is an on-camera fill light. And it comes with this sort of tiny little cold shoe or hot shoe mount. It's got a sort of tiny little ball head on it. And that just allows you to put the pocket light on the top of your camera. Now, this is clever. So when you're in environments where you got really harsh overhead lighting that's just sort of pouring down and you have no control over it and it doesn't look very good, you can just pop that on your camera, and that is just going to take the harsh shadows off the face of your subjects. You don't want it to be the main light or key light. You just want it as a fill light, just to fill in those nasty shadows that aren't very flattering. The other way you can do it, and the way I actually prefer to use this as a fill light, is I will keep it in my pocket, and when I take it out, if I've got a camera that's light enough to sort of hold in one hand, I will hold this camera in one hand, and then I can actually, in this hand, move it around and just find the way I want to paint that light on best. And I might hold it to the side and try to get sort of more contrast, or I might sort of hold it down low just to take out the shadows that are sort of showing up in the scene. So that gives you a lot of creative control. Obviously only works if you've got a reasonably lightweight camera, but most of the sort of mirrorless cameras nowadays are pretty much light enough to hold one-handed. But that is the way I've been using it. And I've even used it in the past where if you've got like a street light overhead and you've got so really harsh sort of yellow light coming down, and you end up with those raccoon eyes and sort of that really, it's like you'll have a shadow from the nose and everything down. What you can do is you can just take the little pixel Liber Pocket light. You can set your color temperature to roughly match the yellow that's sort of coming out of that street light, and then just hold it out sort of underneath them and just take those shadows away. And you can actually get a really, really good photo just using a street lamp and the little Liber Pocket light. Now, I must admit, since this is my first pocket light, I can't actually tell you how good it is compared to other pocket lights. I could just tell you that I am extremely impressed with the quality of this budget little light. And if you want to see what the latest pricing is, I have put a link in the description down below because I think that is in flux at the moment. But it is designed to be a budget-friendly pocket light. And the first thing that jumps out at me when I sort of took it out of the box is the fact that it's all metal. Like the whole back and sides is all metal. And it feels like it's sort of like, I don't know, aircraft grade aluminum or something like that. Very similar to what sort of the iPads or the MacBooks are made out of. And it seems to be all one piece. I can't see any seams. It's like a solid carved piece. So it does feel extremely premium. Now, it does have plastic on the front that the sort of the LED lights come through where the diffuser is, and it does actually come with a silicone diffuser. So if you just want to soften that light up a little bit more, it doesn't necessarily soften the light so much as it does spread the light. So now the light is going to sort of come out the sides and sort of go in more all directions. The reason I say it doesn't soften the light is because it doesn't actually make the light specifically any bigger. Now, another little clever thing about the pocket light is it actually has a magnetic back. So if there's anything metal that you want to stick the thing on, it does have a magnet at the back. And if you want to stick it on something sort of in your office or in your workspace or someplace that you sort of are regularly going to want to have the light, it's something you could potentially use just to light up your face for sort of business calls or Zoom calls. It does come with these sort of little metal plates with a sticker on the back. So you peel that off and just stick it on whatever. And then you can sort of stick the actual light to the little sticky thing. So now you've sort of created a metal surface wherever you might want to stick the light, which I think is another clever little feature. Now, the whole thing is operated by a rechargeable battery that is charged by a USB-C port on the side of the light. Now, I have tested this. I've got 3 different lights here, and I tested them all at sort of full brightness, and they last exactly an hour and a half. So it doesn't take too long to charge them. They last an hour and a half. And if you do need more time than that, you can actually charge them and operate them at the same time. So you can actually charge a little battery bank in, and then you essentially have unlimited use or unlimited time with the little light. And it's super, super easy to use. On the side of it, you've just got a little on-off switch, so that lets you turn the light on and off. And then it has a little, I guess it would be called a dial or a toggle. And you can push that in. That's kind of like your enter key. And then you can sort of push it up and down, and that is like you're changing the different menus. So you can control the whole thing with what is essentially up, down, and then push in for enter. But if that isn't enough and you want something even sort of more intuitive or just like super, super simple, there is an app you can put on your phone that allows you to select all the modes directly. So it's all listed out there in front of you. So if you don't want to control it from the side of the device, you can control it from the app. One of the nice things about being able to control it from the app is you can could sort of set it across the room or set it in a different location, and you wouldn't have to go up and play with it. You could sort of set it in your app, kind of check the scene and see how everything looks, and you sort of just control it that way. You don't actually have to go near the light itself. And it has 4 modes in the light. It has the white mode, which gives you a whole range of Kelvin temperatures, sort of to match with whatever white lights are around. So you could be in the shade, you could be in the sun, or you could be lit by artificial lights, you can be lit by street lights. You can use the light to match that if you want. You can also contrast that, use a different color intentionally if you want. That's the white mode. Then you have RGB mode, which allows you to select red, green, and blue, different levels of each red, green, and blue, and the combination of that gives you 16.7 million color choices. So I don't think you're gonna run out of color choices in the RGB spectrum. There's also an HSI mode, which is just another hue saturation mode, which allows you to choose 700 different colors and then have them at different levels of saturation and intensity. And then the 4th mode is like a special effects mode, and that gives you something that looks like candlelight if you're like doing a narrative, or campfire, or cinema if you want it to look like somebody's watching a TV. There's fire truck. What else is there? Lightning, fireworks, police siren, or police car. So there's all these different modes, special effects modes, not ones that I would probably use. There's actually an RGB mode that will cycle through different colors. I've seen people use this in sort of the background of their YouTube videos, where you're seeing sort of a changing of colors in the background. I could not really recommend this highly enough. This is a product that I did get for free. I did not spend my money on, but if I did not have these sent out to me, I would absolutely buy them, no questions asked. As I said, I use them every day. I have lenses on this shelf that cost thousands of dollars that don't get anywhere near the use that this tiny little pocket light does. If you've got any questions about the pocket light or anything else, just leave them in the description down below. I'm always trying to answer everybody's questions. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.